Transparency.
As Congress widens the net of Trump administration witnesses that it wants to hear from, and President Trump pumps the brakes on supplying them after his attorney general's a disastrous performance this week, his former White House aide, Omarosa Newman, says she's ready and waiting to spill more tea against her old boss, claiming that the Trump White House is holding on to boxes of her White House emails that she thinks congressional committees would probably like to see. I'll let her explain more. Joining me now, Omarosa Newman, a former senior White House official under President Trump. Omarosa, why do you think that the emails that you say they're holding boxes of that are yours would be of such interest to congressional investigators and congressional committees?
Well, first of all, Rep., thank you so much for having me on. I think it's important to realize that very early on in the administration, we got letters directing us to preserve all information related to the Mueller investigation. All investigations, any information, any emails, any correspondence, we had a clear directive to preserve those documents, preserve emails, preserve text messages. And so I thought it was very interesting that after my discussion with General Kelly in the Situation Room, when I went to take my things, I was instructed that I had to leave 7 boxes of documents that came from the campaign, the inauguration, the transition, and they would not allow me to get them. But, the good thing is that, the Trump administration isn't that bright. They sent me tons and tons of emails about these boxes saying, we still have them, we'll decide when to give them back to you. But as of now, Rev, I have not received anything from those boxes, and now they're refusing to hand them over.
No, so you don't know if these boxes were handed over to Mueller now, but they could be looked at and viewed by congressional committees, and you feel there may be something in them? Is that what you're saying that would be of interest to them as they look through this?
If they did hand them over to Mueller, they would have had to be in touch with my attorney, John Phillips or J. Wendell Gordon, because, of course, I had correspondence and had to sit down for interviews with the Mueller team. And so they would have had to let my legal team know that. What's very curious to me is that, as I stated, it was 7 boxes of documents, and in my emails they only reference 2, which leads me to believe that they've destroyed the other 5. So, it's par for the course with this administration. I believe I'm not the only one who's been subjected to this type of treatment, and I believe that there are more documents that have been destroyed by this administration. If it happened to me, it's happened to others.
Let me be clear, because I want to make sure I understand you. You say there were 7 boxes, but they only referred to 2. So are you suggesting that maybe they destroyed 5 boxes of email that could have been evidence?
Oh, there's no question. In fact, when I spoke with White House ethics attorney Stefan Passatino, he said to me that they had a right to go through the emails and decide what they could keep and what they could disregard and throw away and discard. And again, all of that is in email. So we'll have to see. I got correspondence from the Justice Department after having my interview and disclosing those things. So we'll have to see what unfolds. But I'm sure that I'm just not a one-off. I believe that this is a pattern with this administration of being disrespectful to congressional requests, of trying to use intimidation and all types of tactics to keep people silent. But as you can see, I won't be silent, nor will I keep secret the things that I have been subjected to and others have shared that they've been subjected to as well.
Do you think that the correspondence and emails that you had, and some of which you're suggesting may have been destroyed and maybe others have gone through the same thing, do any of these really talk about things that could match other witnesses that talked about obstruction or that may have been a material benefit to the investigation and could be to the congressional committees?
I think that's an excellent question, Rev. My portion of the Mueller report on page 17 is redacted. There's only a couple of lines from what I shared, and the rest of it is redacted. So the answer to that is I'm not sure. It says under the redaction that it's a part of a continued investigation. So who knows? It could certainly be related to ongoing investigations, but I'm not sure because of the redactions.
Let me ask you this. You are a senior advisor